Welcome to Fantasy Football G. I'm your host, Kat, and yes, I've got a gleaming smile on my face just in the top 11K. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to do a little quick review as to see how I did my game week, of course, to see how we popped into that top 11K, and then, of course, talk about the players we should be keeping and selling, mentioning a couple of price rises that have already happened, and just looking ahead at your game week 3. Terms of which players to be looking at and keeping an eye on. So without further ado, let's get into this. All right. Yeah, guys, I got a big smile on my face. Another good game week, another green arrow, as you can see down below. Yeah, really happy. But the one thing I'm really about is the Gibbs White on my bench having 10 points. Mainly because I know you guys have had this where it's like you have a benching headache and then you're like, who should I play? Literally, bro, before the deadline, I was swapping these guys around, Johnson, Wood, and Gibbs. And I was like, and I said in my video, and I remember you guys, I'm sure you guys know, I said, I'm going to play Gibbs White because he's more secured for minutes. The flip-flop changed and I got 10 points, but hey, on the bench. But hey, 99 points is good. Of course, triple captain came through for me. And that's what it was, guys. It came through for me. It wasn't a stroke of genius or anything. Not at all. It really just was like the conditions were there, as I mentioned. And we can't say we're surprised that this happened. We knew that like the ultimate could happen, and I guess it just did. So we're very good. Looks good for us going throughout the season. In fact, now we eagerly wait to see how other people's triple captain goes, because it could still go well for those who held on to it as well. So don't despair if you didn't get this one. But yeah, very happy with my team. My defense came through for me, 99 points. I made the right choice with the keepers as well. Pedro Porro, Arsenal defense, Liverpool defense also looking good. So really can't complain. Just upset that Johnson didn't get anything in that game, and Eze blanked as well. So we'll talk about him as well. And Wood not getting anything despite having a couple of chances as well. Maybe not big chances, but some chances, and as well as Isak. So those are players we got to talk about. But doing well for this game week, really happy. Let's take a look at the thing for me that is big of them all is the Fantasy Football G League. So, of course, Killer Squad killing it at the top at number 1. That's me. And back of the net, so just putting some balls in the back, bringing himself up to the top. Scott Edwards, heads and volleys, keeping his head up there. Adrian, real good, man, popping in there. Sono FC, Brent McNeil, just making a climb up the top 10. Slotting them away. Tiamo is always around, my G, all the way from last season. Good to see here in the top 10, my man. And then Tempestuous C is the storm. The storm is here, eh? So you don't want to go away, do you? Eh? You don't want to. You and Tiamo, you're just always there. Eh? You're always there. But no, good, really good, man. Coming in, sticking there as well. 93 points is really good considering you didn't play any chips. And then this will do for Paul at number 7. This is not bad, guys. I'm really impressed because the difference between number 1 and number 10 is just about 30 points, which in all honesty, that's a good game week and a bad game week for those losing ground. High and mighty, staying high and mighty, coming up at number 8, Marvin there. And then Julian dropping down all the way down to 031, number 9, but he's still in the top 10. And Bloodline FC keeping the 10th top 10 in the Bloodline here. So really good for you. Really good for the guys. Let's keep it going, guys. Friendly competition. Let's keep pushing each other. I'm definitely here to keep you guys going as well. I know you guys will catch me. This is really just game week 2. So if you guys want to join the league, the description is in the bottom. And The league code is in the description at the bottom, so check it out and come through. Before I actually jump through to that, I need to also mention that in the description below is the link to Fantasy Football Hub, which is where I actually take all of my stats from, where I make my decisions, use the tools to help me make my decisions as well. And funny enough, that decision for Gibbs White to be on the bench actually came from stats from the AI Hub as well. Sometimes it makes them, sometimes it doesn't. But the cool thing about it is AI, Football Fantasy Hub has got a good promotion going on right now. If you use my link in the description, you'll get 50% off. And the best thing about it is if you don't win your mini league, you will get all of your money back. T's and C's apply, which is also in the description below. So get that link in the description below, use that, and you guys will be high and flying in your mini leagues as well. So let's get back to it as well. Cool. So I think, where should we start? I think let's start with the Blue Boys. We'll start off with Nkuku. He didn't start the game, and I think a lot of people, he's already had a price drop over there. As you can see, 6.4. Should you keep him? Should you not? I think this is what I was talking about when I said we need to give Chelsea time. Nkuku played on that week, Thursday, and when it comes to a lot of fixtures in the season, it's going to be like 8. What's going to happen. Besides that, it's also just the performance of the team. They had a really good performance, which is really great. But the mere fact that these guys have just got too many people in their squad, and it's the first few games, a lot of their players are really just a risk, And I know a lot of us felt like Nkuku was nailed, but it's been a blank in the first one, and now him not playing, I think, honestly, you should take him out just to be safe. I think there's a lot of great assets in the 6.5. So for me, Nkuku is a hard sell for those who haven't sold him yet. His price has dropped, and for those who haven't sold him, his price might drop even further. So please take a look out for that as well. Keeping on Chelsea, Palmer, should we be going for him? He hold down. What does it mean? He was playing at that number 10 role, which is sort of like that free role that he was playing under Pochettino, and you could see he really excelled. I think, if he continues to play in that role, then yes, definitely he is somebody to bring in. He's still at 10.5, but I don't think it's someone you bring in right now. I think we still have to give Chelsea maybe another 2 games, in my opinion, to see how this team really not just gels, but like who, in all honesty, is like, got their spots. I know people are jumping onto Medway here, but like, again, is he locked in? You got Pedro Neto coming in, and I think he could still come in on either wing. So back to Palmer. I think if you've got Palmer, keep him. That's the point of this. Keep him. Don't sell him. I think if you had him, then that's great, but don't bring him in just yet. I'm not saying that he's not going to haul again. He would, but I think it's just safer to hold on to your money or the assets that you have, honesty. Assets such as Bruno Fernendes. I think he's been a very unlucky guy. He did send out a message to you, FPL managers, that he will come through for you guys. And I think when Bruno does, I think he's going to haul. Bruno is honestly, just like last season, he had a really disappointing start. I think we all had Bruno and Rashford in the beginning of the season. And that was really hard for us people because we kept him and kept him and kept him, and they just didn't deliver. But, they've won 1 game, lost 1 game. I think the next game is Liverpool, so it's kind of hard to keep them for that. But the next game, I think, it's an easy game. I forgot which club it is, but they got an easy fixture straight after that. I think it is Southampton. Somebody can correct me in the comments below. But I would keep him for that Southampton game. And if there's anybody that's going to be involved in a goal-scoring opportunity, it's Bruno in the Liverpool game. So I would keep him there for that Southampton game. And if he doesn't pull through for that Southampton game, then sell him. So keep for now, keep him for the Southampton game. If he doesn't pull through, Sell that guy, guys. Sell that guy. Another good guy, which I did mention that we should be bringing in, is KDB. Now, he's gone up in price by one, and the beauty of this price rise is the price fall of somebody else, is Phil Foden. And I say that because I love KDB, and I mentioned, we should bring him in and stuff like that for this close quarter. These fixtures here, I think after this game week, we're going to go into an international break. But I think that we should not be depending on him having as many minutes after the international break. And this is me exclusively also speaking about when Champions League starts, which starts earlier than usual now because of the tournament format. So not sure exactly when, but I think it's pretty much after this game week 4 where I think we'll start to see him being rotated. And that's when I think we should start to hop on more to Phil Foden, because he's somebody who I think being young is going to be able to handle the load of games better than KDB, who's very injury prone. So those of you hopping onto KDB, good for now, but the long term, I'm just not sure. Either way, keep him, don't sell him. And then look out for Foden. Isak hasn't delivered again. It's a tough one. I have him as well. I think almost 50% of the game have him as well. He's been unlucky. The thing is with Isak and Newcastle is they were getting chances. In the second half, Trippier came on with Barnes and they started to deliver, bro. They really started to deliver. It was chance after chance after chance. I think Trippier will come back into that starting lineup as we assumed. Livramento being in the starting lineup for now. Trippier's minutes might still be built up. He might actually not start, but he'll definitely start easing back into the team. He's been training, and I think, in fact, that he will start considering that he's been training, and he's had a good time. And you saw the effect that he had in the game, both him and Barnes. This will Gordon go more to the right and Barnes stay on the left. But my point here with mentioning all of this is it really activated the team, and you could start seeing opportunities happen, and Isak was going on through balls and stuff. So I think he's just been unlucky. We've all been unlucky. I would keep him. He's got Tottenham next. I believe it's Tottenham at home as well. It's a home fixture. He's on penalties. I think it's one of those people we just have to be patient with. I think it's one of those people we just have. It's not like they're not getting chances and opportunities. So my painful suggestion here, guys, is keep Isak. A surprise mention here, Danny Welbeck. I say this because he's scoring, guys. He's scoring, and this season all the time where somebody just keeps delivering. In a team which is actually coming up and trying to break through into those European spots. And I think that's going to be Brighton again, as you can see, having beaten Man United. I forgot who their first game was. I think it was an easy game as well. But he scored twice now, 2 in 2 games. He had a substitution for the new striker, Jorginho Rota. But I think if he keeps delivering like this, he's a person to start to look out for. And I say this because every season there's a Almiron, where we think, this guy's lucky. He's not locked in. He's not gonna keep this up. And I remember that season before last season, Almiron just kept delivering and kept delivering. And there were those of us, especially content creators, that are like, this guy, he's not gonna keep this up. No way he can keep this up, bro. Just kept delivering. So I say look out for him. If you got him, keep him. Not a lot of people got him. He's risen already to 5.6. I think don't sell him as much as João Pedro's also looking good. But yeah, just looking out for him. Keep him on your watch list. Controversial Eze. I said to you guys, West Ham is no joke. And people maybe are still not listening to me. West Ham is not a green fixture, guys, no matter what people say, no matter what fixture things is. So you look at that fixture ticker right below me here, right? Look at Fulham's fixtures there. Ipswich away, West Ham at home. Let me tell you something, man. West Ham ain't no joke. And I think Eze's just been unlucky, in all honesty. The stats, the statistics will talk for themselves as well. This game, in all honesty, he wasn't all of that effective. He didn't create big chances. He had two chances created. They weren't big. And I say this also because remember with West Ham, they're a good team. So I think once they start playing at least better fixtures, I think you should start seeing Eze perform better. And maybe you might be thinking, but nah, Kat, we can't wait for him to play easy fixtures. But this is why I also wanted to bring him up and bring up another player, which might be a suggestion, because when it comes to Eze, I'm not sure whether I should keep or sell him, just because I feel like we also have to be patient. I feel like this is a player we have to be patient with. He's a talisman for a team. The team just doesn't seem like they're performing, especially in just average fixtures. I'm saying West Ham is an average fixture necessarily, but it's not Arsenal. It's not Man City. You know, it's not Liverpool. But you expect him to return in these games, and he's just not. So I think let's take a look at Bryan Mbeumo, specifically because he's going to be playing Southampton next. And I think in such a fixture, he's a good 7 million player who could return in that Southampton fixture. And Southampton specifically, I think, is a team to actually target. So I think if you want to target a fixture, then you could definitely bring in Bryan Mbeumo. But he plays City straight after that. So for the long term, he's not a good fixture, but I won't lie to you. I am actually considering Bryan Mbeumo. There's a couple of transfers I also checked out with the AI. But if I'm really wanting to attack and a fixture, I might just do the Bryan Mbeumo transfer. Just because of that Southampton, I think, when it comes to the City game, I'd still play him because for some weird thing, Brentford has got some voodoo against City. So I think if they did manage to grab a goal or something, he would be involved in that. But then the game after that, I can't remember what it is, but it's an okay fixture as well. So, there are 3 fixtures there, which basically I'll play him in. So that's why I'm thinking about this one. But let's take a look at the suggested transfers. So I want to take out Johnson. For him, I've got 0.5 in my account, and you can see there with his line at the top there, he's got a bit of points predicted for this game week coming up. And then you can see when it compared to Johnson, of course, who's got bad fixtures, he's a good pick. But now we go to a pick which we're all considering, which is a Bailey. He's still at 6.5, but predicted to drop in price. And, honestly, like I said, those 2 first fixtures for Aston Villa were always going to be tough, Arsenal and West Ham. And West Ham have proven to be very good. So I did expect those guys not to perform like Ollie Watkins and stuff, although he had some big chances. Yes, fine. So now I'm thinking, do I bring in Bailey, because he's got better long-term fixtures? So, I'm kind of like thinking about those two. It's either bring in Bailey or either bring in Mbeumo. On the other hand, I'm actually thinking of also not bringing in anybody. That's my thinking for this. But I think a Bailey or Mbeumo, if you want to target fixtures, Bailey for the long term, Mbeumo for the short term. But let's just look at Bailey versus also Rodgers, because he's also another player who I believe is very locked in. The other thing I'm just also makes me ponder about bringing in more Aston Villa players is, yes, their fixtures look good for the long term, but are they going to be able to cope with them once Champions League starts to come in? And who's going to be that rotating person? Is it going to be Bailey? Is it going to be Rodgers? There's Ramsey that's in the team as well. You see, it's those things that are just kind of making me think like, dude, what are we going to do? What am I going to do? What should I do? So Bailey is predicted to be higher. Rodgers is nice, cheap. He's a good enabler. let me know, guys. Let me know what you think. I'm just not sure about Bailey and spending that money on him. In all honesty, I'd rather go for Rodgers, who's playing like a second striker, literally getting those opportunities, and just taking the punt on that for the long term. I think Rodgers is a safer pick. So yeah, yeah, I don't know. Let's see. But when it comes to that fixture of Leicester, just to mention as well, Leicester at home, I think there's no pushover. The mere fact that they could keep out Tottenham, and I know you're going to say that's Tottenham cat. Guys, don't take what these teams do lightly. Don't take it lightly. You're already taking West Ham lightly. Don't take what Leicester did against Tottenham at their home ground, at the King Power Stadium, lightly. Leicester at home is trouble. I'm telling you now. I think it's going to be a cagey game. Yes, Aston Villa will come out on top, but I don't think it's going to be an ass whooping. And that's just my opinion. At the end of the day, you need to make your decision. But that's my opinion with that game. So yeah, guys. If you want to know how did I predict, how did I get that right, how did I make that decision right in getting triple captaining Haaland, then you guys should check out those 2 videos over there where I explain my top 5 reasons for Haaland, and I also debate with my brother as to why Haaland is the best choice. And don't forget as well, I use Fantasy Football Hub for my tools and for making the right decision for my game week. So check that out. The link is in the description. You get 50% off, as well as if you don't win your mini league, you will also get your money back. So guys, keep well, and yeah, thank you. And let's look ahead to game week 3. Peace.